I didn't take it far enough with the money that's being saved here by Joe Lacob.
Talk to us.
It's going to make him. It's going to make him able to re-sign Draymond Green. It's so much money. It's going to help him re-sign Klay Thompson. That's what this move is about. Again, Poole's contract was approximately $130 million over 4 years. Chris Paul is worth $30. That's what his contract is.
Nice.
So the Warriors save over the next 3 years approximately $100 million.
Yes, sir.
However, there's a penalty involved in that because they're a repeater over the luxury tax. So what the Warriors really did was save hundreds of millions of dollars to probably spend a little bit later on Draymond Green and Klay Thompson.
Do you think that Klay gets done before camp?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't necessarily think they'll do anything with Klay this summer. Maybe they will.
Because I'm sure he wouldn't want to play on a lame duck status, but I guess Kerr coached.
925. I love the trade. Got rid of Jordan Poole and his bad contract, his bad defense, and his pouting. We can now sign Draymond. All right.
So I got a question for you. So you mentioned JD saying when Poole got paid, that didn't mean he was, part of the core or whatnot. But Bob Myers facilitated that deal. I mean, he was running. He was the guy. He was the GM. Is this a signal that shouldn't have been done?
I don't think so.
Or is this all just on Jordan Poole and the punch and the regression that we saw?
I think the way the Warriors looked at it was Jordan Poole's a pretty good player, and he's due to get paid. And you know what? What are our options? They could have brought Jordan Poole back as a restricted free agent, and let's say he would have had the year he would have had. Well, then what are you going to do? What if Jordan Poole right now were a restricted free agent? I mean, first of all, you're not going to give him an offer until he gets an offer from another team. Would he get another offer? Let me tell you, restricted free agency can get a little messy.
Yeah, I'm happy he'll be starting though, Steiny. For a team would know.
He's got to beat out Tyus Jones.
No, they're going to be the backcourt.
Steve in Fairfield. What's going on, Steve? How you doing, man?
Hey, good. First of all, Steiny, great call by you. You were ahead of it. You were ahead of ESPN and everybody on this. It's a great call by you. And the funny thing for me is there was a time when Chris Paul wouldn't even share a court with Steph during
that's right.
Shoot around. But he knows where the championships lie. They lie here. He's going to come here. And let's get this right. The big three, Klay, Dre, and Steph had to sign off on it.
No doubt.
This is what we already know, that they're true professionals. They don't get caught up in the petty stuff. And, I do have visions of Paul kind of hurt in a lot of the playoffs because he's got a lot of mileage and he's older. But really playing less minutes, freeing up all that money allows us to sign Dre and Klay. And we just need an athletic big, and we can maybe squeak out another championship here. But great show and great call by you, Steiny. You deserve all the credit on this one.
Oh, thank you. But it was just an opinion that I had.
Yeah, let's slow down giving Steiny all the love, people. He said he could. Yeah,
Chris Paul played
59 games.
32 minutes a game last year. We whittled it. And I say we because I'm talking about the Warriors, we whittle that down to 25, 26. We're going to have guys revved up for the playoffs. Woo! Our veterans are going to be ready for the playoffs.
Because I can make an argument they beat Denver if he doesn't get hurt, Steiny.
Who?
Phoenix. Once he got hurt, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
Will's in Pleasanton.
No more Poole.
Hey, Will. Talk to me, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Just got on the radio, so Guru, I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but you do know now with Paul, Draymond, and Steph, that just opens the door to bring back their good friend, LeBron.
Oh. How about Iguodala? Let's go all in.
I mean, come on, guys. They get on the banana boat again. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. LeBron will play for free, right? Yeah.
Appreciate the call, Will. Thank you.
I'm with the 510. Stop gassing up Steinmetz.
650, if they save that much money, does it put them in play for free agents? No, not this year.
That's the only problem. But the investors, as you like to say. Joe Lacob.
Wow. In case you just joined us. I mean, this is big.
It's humongous.
Chris Paul, the once despised, once disliked competitor of the Golden State Warriors, is now a Golden State Warrior.
This is like Richard Sherman coming to the Niners.
Chris Paul to the Warriors and Jordan Poole headed to Washington. Yes,
I'm seeing a lot of some happy fans, of course, blockbuster deal, but also not exactly so many fans on social media. I'm curious to hear from people who aren't a huge fan of the trade. Colin, give us your reason why.
Well,
because Jordan Poole is not better than. I mean, it's better at basketball right now, and he's younger and he's healthier than Chris Paul.
He's not as good of a fit. Doesn't that matter?
Well, they won a chip 2 years ago. Well,
Poole wasn't that same player.
I wonder why.
I'm looking at, well, you tell me.
Well, and the guy said, oh, the big three signed off. It's really two because we knew Dre wanted him up out of here. But
I got Scott Marin says he hated the trade when he first heard it. I got Robert in San Jose saying I love the deal. And I got Brett and Vallejo saying this is the right move. So
let's go to Valley Joe.
Who's Valley Joe?
Vallejo. That's what he called it.
Okay, we'll go to him. We'll go to Brett and Vallejo first. If you don't like the trade, we got the boss screening today. So is that the boss? Oh, it's John. John, put somebody on who hates the trade.
John. Who the hell is John?
You might not be able to find anybody.
Warriors won't turn. We're coming.
I think the Bay Area's coming around. They're thinking if Steiny said this a couple weeks ago, maybe they're right on the money.
How long?
What's up, Brett? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, gents. How you guys doing?
All right.
Dynamite.
I love the trade, but I think it started earlier with Draymond. I think Draymond opted out, knowing we'd be above the apron. So now we can go sign an expiring contract, and we can sign somebody else, and we have Draymond's bird rights. So I think, there's still a move to be made. I think we might package Kuminga in the 19th, Baldwin in the 19th, and go get like a Derek Lively in the draft or another big man that can help us out. And then next year we'll be under the apron again because Chris Paul will be a free agent. That's all I got.
Yeah. But at that point, you're going to have to probably re-sign Steph. I'm sorry, Klay.
Yeah.
Klay. Let's go to Leo. Leo doesn't like it. How come, Leo? How come you don't like it?
Well, from a financial perspective, I understand trying to save money. But if you're telling me that the best you could get for Poole was a broken down CP3 and Steiny, I don't know where you've been the last 5 or 6 years, but CP3 is notoriously been hurt.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, can hold up. And if you think, a 6'1" guard is going to come in and somehow take him over the top and get him back into the hunt for a championship, I think you're delusional. To be honest with you.
Well, okay.
Now, at some point, if they could have gotten better return for him other than CP3, maybe I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Hear me out, Leo.
But
can you hear me out?
Yeah, go.
So I'm looking at Chris Paul last 4 years. 70 games, 65, 59. Essentially averaged 32 minutes per game. And he breaks down in the playoffs. You don't give any credence to the possibility that you bump him down to 25, you load manage him a little bit, and you can keep him healthy. I mean, you got Steph who's older too. I mean, you know what I mean?
But no, they don't need another guard. They don't need a 6'1" guard. He's not going to get him over the top. That's what I mean.
Is he a better fit than Jordan Poole?
Maybe it's a 50-50 proposition that he doesn't get hurt at the end of the year after wearing down, even if he's only playing 20 or 25 minutes. They do not need a 6'1" guard.
That's what he's saying, Steiny. They could have got some size, like I was saying for Poole. Not something that's smaller than Poole.
The thing that happened here, too, is there was an opportunity presented for the Warriors to get off Poole, make a move that makes some sense, and again, to save hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
If you think the Warriors sold low, I'm not going to argue with you. I will not argue with you. You know what? I thought you might be able to get a little more for Poole than Chris Paul, even though I like Chris Paul.
But you did
coming off the bench. I like Chris Paul coming off the bench for the Warriors. But it was about saving the money.
And that's where you hit it out the park. You hit it. Joe Lacob and I keep going, Steiny, like it's the Temptations. Joe Lacob and the investors hit a grand slam with that money. That's what this is about. And the fans are in an uproar, but it's business. And if somebody deserves a pass for blowing past the luxury tax the way that Joe Lacob has done the last umpteen years, I mean, can we really be upset